stood firm with the party. But lesson for all of us to learn that when
and now our way to the Afro region, flag bearer hopeful under the ticket of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia says he's very confident that delegates in Tano North will give him another chance in the party's 2026 presidential primaries. Speaking during his tour to the region, Dr. Bawumia expressed his gratitude to delegates for their 84% support in 2023 and pleaded with them to increase the number this time.
Lady Mania Jipa, me batano nofa, mabafi, any fee, me pesami damunina se, 2023, mujina mechipa, 84%, Yamishira munina, medama se, pese me, kancha muse, sede mujina mochino, 2026, January 31st, Monkono sana mumpeja na yanko do 90%. Munyina munim se minimum na ye ko presidency no. Mikodu ha musuma konia ewo ho. Enti ye nyina na ebedi presidency no. Kukudu.
And our way to the Education Ministry, the Education Minister, Haruna Idrisu, says the education authorities are not going to allow any longer in senior high schools across the country. Haruna Idrisu made this comment based on the public debate on whether it is time for senior high school students to wear long hair on campus. Speaking at the Mawuli Senior High School's 75th anniversary, the minister stated that secondary school's environment is not a place for a beauty contest.
Chairman of the GES Council is here. There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today. We will not tolerate it tomorrow. And so long as we are molding character, if we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are accordingly empowered. Take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and would not tolerate that as an institution.
Meanwhile, lawyer Victoria Bright has shared her thoughts on a public debate as to allow senior high school students to wear long hair to school. According to the lawyer, she would not advocate for kids putting relaxers on their hair or adding wigs to their natural hairs. But if it is their natural hairs, she does not see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, then I think we should, for me, it's not the most important thing. What I will say, though, is that if I wouldn't advocate for kids like putting relaxers in their hair or doing weaves and things like that. But if it's their natural hair and they are braiding it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I was saying to you that when I was little, before all this haircut thing started, we used to, you know, in school, I was in Wesley Girls, we used to just braid each other's hair. You know, you braid my hair, I'll braid your hair. Because it was a girls' school, it was easy to do so, and we all learned how to braid hair. And then the rule came in. And I remember we were told that we shouldn't come to school the following term unless we literally had Sakura hair. And so I had very long hair. And I actually, they just kind of, literally I had it in braids and they just went right to the bottom of the braid and chop, 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 chop. And I looked at my face and I cried buckets, you know, because I was just a little kid. You know, so, I mean, I don't really, I do agree that it shouldn't be outrageous hairstyle. It shouldn't be anything relaxed or weave-ons or any of those things that distract you from why you're in school to learn. You know, but if someone naturally has long hair or just wants to braid their hair, as long as it's not funny hair braids and things, I really think we should leave the kids alone. That's my personal view, having experienced the trauma of my hair. So that's correct.
Still on the same story, the lawyer suggested that education authorities can introduce a specific hairstyles for senior high school students.
around your hair. If you're not going to cut it, the hairstyle that we all know little kids to now have in schools, then you need to have it braided a certain way. It has to be within very strict parameters. No chemicals, no weave-ons, nothing, no wigs, nothing like that. Just your own hair and braided neatly. I think that's okay.
Recent disruption of the Lightwave Health Information Management System has left some health facilities no option than to go back to using manual and semi-digital procedures. Member of Parliament for Wale Wale, Honorable Abdul Kabiru Mahama, has lamented over Ghana's ongoing digital health disruptions, cautioning that going back to manual record keeping in hospitals could lead in delays in treatment and sometimes loss of lives.
Is referred to that hospital. It was actually meant to also, reduce the kind of problem we have, because once data is stored manually and the physical files are being kept at a registry, it's difficult to trace files of patients, and sometimes these unnecessary delays also cause unnecessary loss of lives, because the doctor needs to get the data of the patient in order to do the prognosis and diagnosis and possibly prescribe what could be given the patient to ensure speedy recovery. The lack of fairness, the lack of the alacrity with which they will respond will be greatly inhibited if the data is stored manually. So that's the whole essence. But in the delivery of this particular life-changing intervention, we will have to deal with service providers, because individuals or people with expertise, people with ICT solutions are those expected to provide this. So if government is not, does not honor in time the obligation expected of government, because they are supposed to be paid for their services, you realize that this problem will occur again.
So on this note, we're going for a commercial break. More stories will be coming your way after the commercial break. Stay tuned. Your life will wellness retreat awaits you at NAP Apartment Hotel. Listed in the city's most vibrant district, NAP Apartment Hotel offers you one-of-a-kind experience. NAP Apartments Hotel, rated as one of the 4 stars hotels in the country. You can locate NAP Apartments Hotel at Bonsoma first link. Or for reservations and enquiries, you can log on to their website at www.napapartmentshotel. NAP Apartments Hotel, where comfort meets adventure.
Company Limited. So we pay blocks machines here air papa. Na ne bonso assign edda form dia. Enye na enwani Amsel Company Limited. Ye were conveyor blocks machines. hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one accessories in Yana. And nothing so blocks machines are who draw opening in a bin so ever ho. To show your child quite in a year. There was Sprinters Road 18 Junction. Yani KFC Dino and a dish anymore. Frey, it was 05240 and I say 0540725850. Amsel blocks machines in Papa Efie.
TV news at 24 on CSTV. Welcome back from the commercial break. Now let's do some business stories. Renowned economist and professor of finance has described Africa as the only continent where water flows upwards. Speaking in an interview, the professor explained that Africa continues to lose vast sums of money through capital flight, tax evasion, and financial leakages, even as it borrows heavily and receives aid from wealthier nations. Chief Executive Officer for the National Food Buffer Stock Company, George Abredu Otu, has assured farmers across the country that funds are readily available to pay for surplus grain being purchased under the government's Strategic Food Reserve Initiative. Speaking in an interview, he confirmed that licensed aggregators are currently on the ground collecting excesses produced from farmers and transporting it to NAFCO storage facilities. On international front, Mali has closed schools and universities nationwide due to a fuel scarcity caused by a blockade on fuel imports jihadi militant import on the capital. Education Minister announced on state television that classes would be suspended for 2 weeks due to the disruptions in fuel supplies that are affecting the movement of school staff. We're going for a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
A story of love, elegance, and timeless beauty. At Sarah's Dream Jewelry, we bring you exquisite craftsmanship, stunning designs, and pieces that celebrate your moment. From engagement to anniversaries, birthdays to just because surprises, we help you make memories that shine forever. Discover timeless classics, modern elegance, and breathtaking collections. All at prices that sparkle. Looking for something unique? Our expert artisans craft personalized jewelry made just for you. Let's make your moment unforgettable. Sarah's Dream Jewelry, where elegance meets you.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Now let's do some sports stories. Minister in charge of government communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, has described cause for Otuado's dismissal as unfortunate, added that it would be a tragic mistake should it happen ahead of the 2026 World Cup.
Retained abiding faith in the Black Stars in the periods where they underperformed. And I'm gratified that they have justified that support with this splendid qualification. Mr. Speaker, in the aftermath of the qualification, a number of issues have come to the which I believe merits our attention. There have been calls for the dismissal of the coach who guided us on this qualification path. Mr. Speaker, I believe that these calls are a bit unfortunate and they are misplaced, because the man who has guided us to this qualification in stellar fashion. Best play to prepare for the competition itself. Because the way national teams work these days, there's hardly any time a team to camp for an extensive period in order to hone their tactics and prepare for the competition itself. So it would be tragic to dismiss the coach and hire a new person who will have very little time to prepare the team. The competition is about 7 months, but in between that period, the team will be camping for more than 3 or 4 occasions. And that time is simply to issue experimentation. The second issue is that there have been a flurry of requests by some Ghanaian players born overseas or who are playing overseas to be considered for second. Many people have expressed outrage at these developments and demanded that only players who were available for the qualification series should be. I call for some caution in the way that we approach this. There were some players who were our entreaties in the because perhaps they were hedging to see if nations who have a higher profile in international football will give them a call. But there are areas in the team that require some improvement, and therefore I will call for sober reflection on this matter, so that in the areas where we are weak, if there are players who have shown greater ability than the current players we have, we consider them, of course, on merit, because there's something to be gained from doing so. Sometimes, if we are not careful and we act out of emotion, we may make mistakes that will come back to haunt us. So on that note, I commend the team highly. I commend the coach highly. I commend the Minister for Sports highly for supervising this impressive qualification.
Gary Neville says the Premier League title race is Arsenal not to lose after the league leaders open up a 4-point gap at the top and their direct rivals continued to falter. Neville believes Mikel Arteta has become up with a formula that may not be spectacular, but their best asset.
Miles better than last year, but they're repeating their levels of consistency, and that's all they're going to have to do this year to win the league. They're not going to have to go and get 100 points. They're not going to have to go and get probably even 90, 95 points to win. I just think they're going to have to basically get to the level that they can achieve. Mid-80s, high 80s will win them this title, and they can do that. The words I mentioned before about the other teams, inconsistent, unreliable. That's not this Arsenal team. They're very reliable. You can trust the way in which they defend is fantastic. They're all around each other. They don't concede goals. They've got a threat up front in multiple areas. They've not got a sensational centre forward, but they've got a battering ram up there who's honest as a day is long, and that I think can work for. They've got Eze, they've got Saka, they've got Madueke, obviously, who's not in at the moment, Martinelli, Trossard. They've got lots of players who can contribute goals. They've got Rice, obviously delivering set pieces, 4 fantastic fullbacks and 3 excellent centre-backs, and Mosquera's come on again today. Not seen a drop in performance. There are a lot of very good things going for Arsenal. About making sure now they don't get carried away. It's about making sure they just keep doing the same things. They don't need to do anything spectacular here. Just keep doing your jobs, keep doing what you do, and you will win this. It's yours to win. And that's not, I'm not saying it's yours to lose. That would be applied pressure. It's yours to win. This is your title, Arsenal. And I've never really felt that sure before, and it's so early in the season. It's madness for someone with the experience that I've got of winning titles to say that it's yours to win at this stage, but it really, honestly, and that's not being overconfident for them. It's not placing undue pressure on them. Just feel it themselves. The Arsenal fans must feel it. They must know that this is the moment that Arsenal can get back on top, and it's an incredibly huge football club.
And now moving on to entertainment stories. Prophet Nicholas Osei, popularly known as Prophet Kumchacha, has once again made another bold statement concerning marriage. Speaking at an entertainment showbiz, Prophet Kumchacha expressed his lack of confidence in an ordained marriage. He argued that monogamous marriage, which allows couples to stay with only one partner, is not found in the Bible.
Now, also for Ben, a free Genesis, echo do a decent. Over to me, a quote quotation by say, oh, while me, you know, over hell, and I say, Unyankwa. Bible quotation, Paul on a can say, and come on yet to seminar, Paul Rebecca say, Asafu Mosso, come on, you and your baku, no, we are not the chat was say, a mafutu, a am or be more advice. W advice, many to a almost of Kumchacha advice, ya me partner mefa. So I quite swallow to say, Pentecost as well, Assemblies of God in the Solana. Oh, while me, you see, my winning communion. Identity, yes, Paul say, Wale Baku. The same Paul on our kind, our 1 Corinthians 14, 34, Eba say, you do as well, there, my yama, a memoir or one. At what do say, Swally, a mabu dini, and there, you do a mapri. Paul on our kind, also about 1 Corinthians 14 catch us me wedding no me nyentom the Bible dey here no one say ka wa hye me nsada here the wedding aye dey Exodus 22:16 so wo bi koda da baba wo bi ayenyin na wade na wone ne da onkoye ne ho ade no wale no wanka wedding wo ho koye ne ho ade na wale no ema na busuya ka wedding me menyi wedding da bi o meti we me ka kire ma me na enye license asem na da me ma sole me e wa ban mu me bibia ya register wa ba mu den license bi ba de woman say me catch yourself me ye word me say won ye 100 ya me say mu 80 e da duro.
Ghanaian rapper Amrado has disclosed that radio presenter DJ Slim influenced him to engage in a beef with fellow rapper Medical.
With Medical, and then Medical and you'll be our Amy Bonibia, or Amy Bonibia, but and no Slim and Yabantana, my honor Slim friend say, yo, Kwabana, Yabeni, and I'm so say, that time I Greek. And I'm so medicated so. I do sometime bina feel bad or more, but don't say music deal count your regrets to move ko and Medical and you'll be a wash on Yamishi, Nansiana, where my mamma is me dry, but I'm not so cramming this in because a game, yeah, because and I want respect to be a respect to. I grown the mom woman, Yenny Tiasi, Nansia, Walene, Samini Jana stage, safe, but you know, would this petty beefs near the next year? I shall go be in Tokam and maybe you know a third person. Yeah.
And now weather report is up next. Stay tuned. At CSTV GH. CSTV News at 24 was brought to you by Celeste Tom Brown, Rema Ushering Agency, Amstel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing, Sarah's Dream Jewelries, KS Bafemix Company Limited, Yap Decorations, and Nap Apartments Hotel. My name is Dorcas Manson.